Welcome everyone to Soul Game Channel. Today we will talk about Undawn game, with some other great news, but before we start don't forget like the video, and let's start.
Every damn day, and no, you're not dreaming. Here, you're free to go anywhere.
New survival game Undawn announcements are starting to hit the internet in preparation for launch soon, but guess what? Will Smith is one of the heroes of the new game. Not only that, but he will also be in charge of marketing the game in cooperation with the Chinese company Tencent. The game will depend on the elements of survival through construction, hunting, and collecting resources. But there will be lurking enemies waiting for the decisive moment in order to pounce on it and eliminate all achievements. These enemies, as it appears to us from the video, will be similar to zombies, but there was no opportunity to see the diversity between enemies and leaders. Undawn will be developed by Tencent's Lightspeed Studio, and it is rated as a big-budget AAA game. The game is supposed to be released on PC and smartphones and will support the cross-platform game. Unfortunately, there was no talk about the home console version and whether the game will be published outside of China. The game is being developed using Unreal Engine 4, not 5, and will be released next month in China only. The game is set in the post-apocalyptic world, mainly based on exploration, survival, combat, and building style. The description of the game follows. Undawn is an open-world survival adventure game that allows you to either play solo or team up with other players to survive in a post-apocalyptic world. There are a few factors that are pivotal to your survival against human or other enemies. This includes building a settlement in any of the world's unique regions, collecting weapons, upgrading your equipment, developing skills, and monitoring your health in order to stay alive. The game is basically similar in the way of controlling and playing the PUBG game system, as it has UI user interfaces similar to the latter. In addition to the multiplayer system that enables you to join other players and form a team in order to take on the adventure of survival, there are 6 main characters in Undawn. They all belong to the Raven's hideout and each possess a unique set of skills that can greatly assist you in your quest for survival. In terms of the game world map, Undawn has a vast open world that allows players to fully immerse themselves in the gaming experience. It consists of 11 different regions. Each comes with its own unique terrain, with different effects like weather, rickety buildings, obstacles, and more. What you see now are regions of Undawn game. Each region is controlled by its own dominant group. You will need to prove yourself if you want to maintain your settlement. Undawn got positive feedback during the alpha testing phase, while more than 70 million pre-orders for the smartphone version were recorded in China alone. New Crimson Desert details and release date confirmed. Pearl Abyss Studio impressed us greatly when the action, adventure, and open-world game Crimson Desert was shown for the first time during the Game Awards 2020 ceremony, and it was indeed one of the most exciting advertisements at the time. Pearl Abyss released its financial report for the fourth quarter of 2022 and held a question-and-answer session with investors, and the developers' focus on the role-playing game Crimson Desert, which is still scheduled for release in the second half of 2023, was evident. With the start of the marketing campaign, includes advertising and demonstrations, in addition to searching for potential partners. The developer has confirmed on more than one occasion that it focuses heavily on bringing a single-player phase, in addition to the most important element in it, which is the multiplayer phase in parallel with the development of the game, as it is intensively polishing, and testing the game. As previous reports confirmed that the Crimson Desert game has achieved significant progress in many technical aspects such as high-quality graphics, and is expected to be released simultaneously on PC and home consoles. Pearl Abyss will also work to support the game with new content during 2023. In addition to the new adventure game project, the cartoon Doke V, as the latter benefits greatly from the work done in developing Crimson Desert. The story of the game revolves around a world torn by wars and conflicts. Its events are located in the city of Bywell, which has many regions, cities, cultures, and religions. It is full of turmoil, fighting, and brutality, where you, as the hero Macduff, fight many factions and fanatical groups in order to control and exploit the power vacuum. In addition to fighting monsters, mutants, dragons, mysterious magic powers, and traveling across dimensions, it is therefore an adventure through which you will explore that vast world filled with different creatures and races. Ubisoft confirms its presence at E3 2023 this year. Last year, the organizers of the E3 exhibition announced its return this year in a new form, after a hiatus of years. The exhibition was considered one of the most important events every year until major companies began to miss it, such as Sony and most likely Microsoft, Nintendo, Ubisoft, and others. This year, the organizers are trying hard to return to the name of the E3 exhibition and promote it again through a version described as distinguished. But the most important thing is the companies present in it, which usually review all their news. Ubisoft has confirmed that it will be in this year's version if it happens. Speaking during an earnings call Thursday, the company's CEO, Yves Guillemot, said he'd really like to be at the aforementioned show, and continued, "If E3 happens, we'll be there and have a lot of things to show." It's not clear why Guillemot is hinting at the apparent uncertainty around this year's E3. Details of the event format for 2023 were revealed late last year, which will see separate consumer trade events spread over 4 days this coming June. And just last month, a source called ReedPop, a new event organizer, told VGC that they had received an enormous amount of interest from many of the biggest companies in the industry and that he was confident the next edition would be a success. If these things become like this with a new organization, we expect that we will get a distinguished version and a welcome return. Do you expect the success of the exhibition after a long absence? It's nice that Ubisoft came to showcase its titles like Assassin's Creed Mirage and the new The Crew. We hope that the rest of the boycott companies will join it.
As the locals engage.
Hey!